Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian and I am the horror show host. And today I am taking a look at the movies I watched in the month of May 2020. I shall talk about each movie individually starting now. The first movie I watched was For a Few Dollars More. Now this was an excellent Western. I absolutely loved it. It's up there with one of the greatest films I've seen that involves the West. I mean, there's other really good ones like Bone Tomahawk, The White Buffalo. I haven't seen many Westerns, but I love the genre, even though I haven't seen a ton. I'm starting to love it more and more, and this is a fun example of a film that could get you into the Western spirit. The second movie I watched, funny enough, with my mom, was Terrifier. Now, I don't recommend you watch this movie with your mom or elderly family members. It is pretty brutal, graphic, and gruesome. So, it might turn viewers off, but a lot of people seem to love the film, especially not only for the gore, but for Art the Clown. He is a horror icon even with one film in. That really says something. The last clown to do that was Pennywise, both in 1990 and in 2017. So this is a solid slasher film. A little bare bones in terms of plot, story, and characters, and character development, but still a fun watch. The third movie I watched was Lost Boys: The Thirst. This is a great comeback sequel to the first Lost Boys, but it is in essence a sequel to the Lost Boys: The Tribe, which was not that good. So I feel this film's a lot better in a lot of ways, and still kind of subpar in others. So it's not the worst vampire movie out there. There are far worse. And in terms of sequels, it pays a lot of respect to the first film, to its characters and actors and actresses. So, props. The fourth movie I watched was First Blood. I watched this with my mom because I've been begging her to watch this movie. The one thing she couldn't stand was the constant use of them saying, damn it, damn it, damn it. Lots of damn it's. But I didn't really notice it. I still didn't notice while we were watching it. She said it was alright. It's not really her cup of tea. She's not really big into action movies, so I love this movie, though. It is a fantastic survival action thriller. The fifth film I watched was Piranha, the 1978 cult classic. I love this movie. It's ridiculous. I mean, a piranha swimming up the river after escaping from a tank that was flushed. It's basically like the alligator going down the toilet scenario and put it in with piranha into a river instead of a sewer system. But it works. The humor works. The effects work, even though they are very cheap. They do the job. There's a lot of carnage, too, which is nice. The sixth movie I watched was Olympus Has Fallen. I finally got to watch this with my brother and even my father. This is his second time watching it. And I love this movie. It's a solid action movie that's like a homage to those 90s flicks we grew up with. I didn't grow up with them. But still, it has that flair, it has that charm, and the effects are bad. I think that's another thing they try to make it like the 90s. The effects weren't good in the 90s, and they had huge budgets. What does this film have? It has a decent-sized budget, and the effects are bad. So I think that's more of a wink than an intentional flaw. The seventh movie I watched, I picked this up out of my collection on a whim. I was like, I want to watch it. Zombie 4 After Death. I love this movie. It's so cheesy, and the characters are so over the top. I like the wooded setting. It's directed by Claudio Fragasso, who directed Troll 2 and a lot of other Bruno Mattei horror and action flicks. This is so cheap, but it cuts corners in a way that it makes it charming. There's a lot of good gore, mostly. There's some weak stuff. Yeah, I kind of like this more than Zombie 3, which is surprising, I have to say, because Zombie 3 is the ultimate Frankenstein of a zombie film from the 80s in Italy. It's got director Lucio Fulci, Bruno Mattei, Claudio Fragasso. We gotta stick to Zombie 4 for now. It's a cheesy, funny time. The eighth movie I watched was... Now, I hadn't watched this movie in quite a while, and For a post-2010 Sci-Fi Channel original film, it's not that bad. It could have been better in some ways. It could have been worse in others. It's got a high body count, a lot of blood and gore. The effects are okay. They do look cartoonish, but they have textures to them that really amplify the level of threat, and the design just works. I love the design of the Piranaconda, even though its head kind of looks like a walnut on a stick, but a slithery stick. The 9th movie I watched was Django Unchained. Now, this is a fantastic Quentin Tarantino movie. It's got all the great humor, excessive amounts of violence and bloodshed. The actors are phenomenal. They're very good in their parts. I just don't care for the message. I'm sorry, don't kill me. I mean, it's a cool idea, but I will say I think this is one of the movies that handles it better. It really doesn't force a political message down your throat, but it really could have. It easily could have. Instead, it's there out in the front, but still somehow under the surface. It's really well written. The 10th movie I watched was Blast Fighter. Oh man, this is a great cheesy Rambo Deliverance. It's a whole bunch of stuff in an Italian movie combined into one. That's how the Italians did it. It's just a rip-off, cash-in on these other films, but it kind of combines them all, which is awesome. The 11th movie I watched was Night of the Creeps. I watched this with my mom, and it's a lot of fun. It's a little subpar in some ways. I mean, I don't know, it's just some of the effects aren't as groundbreaking. They are really good in some scenes, but in others they could have been worked on a bit. The humor is good. I love Tom Atkins in this movie. And the best friend is actually really good too. I forgot what the actor's name was. The 12th movie I watched, again with my mom, was Dog Soldiers. Now, you're probably wondering one thing. Why did I watch so many movies with my mom this month? Well, she had a couple weeks off, so there. Dog Soldiers is a werewolf classic. It does have its problems, but it has a lot of things really going for it. For one, the characters. For two, the setting and the atmosphere. For three, the effects. And the music is really good, too. I want to get the soundtrack, though. I really love it. Especially the army theme, where it's like really sad. It's really good stuff. The 13th movie I watched was another one with my mom. It was Frankenfish. Wow, this film actually... it got me a couple times when I first saw it. And when my mom saw it, it got her too. The shocking deaths that come out of nowhere really work. It's like Deep Blue Sea with unexpected deaths, and you don't expect these certain people to die, but they do. It's really solid. It's not the best creature feature out there. Hell, it's probably subpar to some other people, but I think it's a good enough movie to have on your shelves if you're a creature feature fan. It's also probably the best snakehead movie out there. The 14th movie I watched was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I have a debate I'm going on with right now with myself. I can't decide which one I prefer more. For a few dollars more, or The Good, or the Bad, and the Ugly. Both are solid westerns, very good movies. I do feel The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly have more iconic things about it, and the scenes are more memorable, but there's just some things in for a few dollars more that I absolutely love, and one of them is the climax. Not to downplay The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly's climax, that is just an amazing showdown. But for a few dollars more, I felt more emotional. I felt more empathy towards the characters. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Lee Van Cleef kind of just shows up, and I mean, he is in the movie a lot, but I don't feel his presence as much as I did in For a Few Dollars More. The 15th movie I watched was Wild Beasts. This is a 1984 Italian zoo run amok movie, which is really, really gruesome. It's actually very fun to watch. It has a lot of real animals in the film that are killing people, but they're not really killing people because it's a movie. But there's a variety of animals, and so they all get their time to shine. It's just a lot of fun. Goofy. Very goofy. But still a solid piece of entertainment. The 16th movie I watched was Halloween. The 1978 classic. To a lot of people. To pretty much everyone. Except me. I don't hate this movie. Do not get me wrong. I really like this movie. I just don't love it. Some things don't work for me. but a lot of them do. But there are some things I just can't let go, and I'll have to get into that in my review, which you're probably all gonna dislike, but that's okay. It's my opinion. I've watched this movie probably like 15 times in my life, and it used to grow on me, then I kind of stopped to a certain peak, so I can't really say I'd give it a 5 out of 5, but you'll see my review. How could you be a horror fan if you don't love Halloween? Below me. The 17th movie I watched, and the final one for the month of May, was Slither. And again, I watched this with my mom. It was a blast. A blast of fun, gory goodies all over the screen. I tried to make that not sound sexual at all. I hope I succeeded. This is a sick, twisted alien creature feature, and I love it. The characters and the humor are really good too. I think the humor is probably the strongest thing about the movie. There are some laugh-out-loud characters and scenes of dialogue and lines that are just hilarious. So, I recommend it. I do. It's a lot of fun, but don't expect anything Oscar-worthy. And those are it. Those are the movies I watched in the month of May. Thank you all for watching, and I am Brian Gatto, the Horror Show host. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page, and support me on Patreon. Even $1 a month will help keep this channel going on strong, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Plus, you'll get access to music videos and body counts that are not on YouTube because of age and copyright restrictions. Also, hit that notification bell, and as always, subscribe.